You know what? At one point this morning, when I was literally tailgating a tractor, I didn't think I'd make it in time for this Matchday morning show. It's absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe it. The one morning that I need to get somewhere on time, tractors. Annoying. That's what living in the country does for you. Hello, guys. Welcome along to Matchday Mornings. You've got All for United on. Make sure if you're watching this on Twitter, you head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/All for United, and hit that subscribe button. Thumbs up the video. Turn on your notifications as well. Breakdown and banter after the last game with Usman and the team. So there's loads of stuff coming up. And of course, our transfer Q&A, your chance to ask questions to some of the top journalists in world football. So hit that subscribe button because that show is coming up very soon as well. But today, it's all about the fact that it's match day. It doesn't feel like match day today because if you actually looked up pointless games in the dictionary, tonight's game would probably come up under the definition of that. But I've got some top reds with me to discuss what's going to happen today. Mark, James, Vass, how are you doing, boys?
Good, thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you for getting up nice and early, and sorry for being late. That's my fault completely. I don't like being late, but I'm late. I am sorry. But there is a game on today. So, Mark, you wrote a preview for allforunited.com. How are you feeling ahead of the game tonight? What are you expecting tonight? Are you with me that this is just one of the most pointless games in the history of football?
I wouldn't say it's pointless. I don't think it's done and dusted yet. Obviously, I know we won 5-0 in the first tie, but there's still a little bit to do. It would be nice, a nice opportunity to play some of the kids, perhaps, and some of the players didn't play so much. But I do think that we will get through comfortably at least. It would be nice to, and it would be awful if we were to lose the game. We'd have a lot of people on our back, I think.
Yeah, and we don't want that, especially being 5-0 up. James, have you got any worries immediately going into tonight? I mean, I say that it's pointless because we're 5-0 up. I mean, I don't see us dropping a 5-0 lead at Old Trafford against a team that finished 4th, I think, in the Austrian division in the end. They really didn't compete for it this year. How are you feeling ahead of the game tonight?
I'm nervous for every game, but I think if we play the youngsters and lose 2 or 3-0, get the game out of the way, I'd be more than happy with that. I can't see us losing 5-0 or by 5 goals.
Yeah, and talking about that team, Waz, I don't know what you think, but United have, or Ollie came out yesterday in a press conference with Jesse Lingard. Looks like he's going to start. He murmured the fact that actually he might not make many wholesale changes. Can I just get your reaction to the fact that Ethan Laird and Mengi have both been added to Europa League squad? Could we potentially see those boys tonight?
Yeah, I'm delighted that both of them have been introduced to the squad. Mengi's played about 15 games for the reserve side, and Laird, who's been stricken with a lot of injuries, he's managed 10 games for the reserve side. So it'd be good to see him tonight, especially Ethan Laird. I'm looking forward to him. He'd provide good fight with Bissaka for the right back position.
Yeah, and from the murmurs I've heard from the reserves and the youth team, he's one of those players which has a bit of everything. He can tackle, he's got some pace, he's got good delivery, he's got good strength. So yeah, I've got a quality young player who's only going to develop and get better, hopefully. If you're watching on Twitter, youtube.com/All for United, go and hit subscribe, go and watch this over there. If you want to comment as well, let us know your predicted 11s ahead of the game tonight. We want to hear from you and we want to see your comments. And if there's anything you want me to ask the lads about, put that as well in the comments, tweet us, and of course, go into the live chat on YouTube. So Mark, Ollie said yesterday that he doesn't think the team's going to be too dissimilar to the team that went out in the first leg and hammered Lask. So is tonight a great opportunity for those fringe players to show why they're at Manchester United?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it would be a great opportunity for them. I think everyone's obviously still probably from coming third. And I think it would be, for the likes of Lingard, as you already mentioned, it would be a good opportunity for him to perhaps score another goal, to the one that he got against Leicester. I'd also like to see Ethan Laird as well. We haven't seen enough of him, obviously, in the first team at all. So it'd be great to have him come through. I think we need to be careful as well. Obviously, if you can remember when Liverpool played their youth team against Villa, they were beaten 5-0 themselves. So I think we need to be careful with that. So that's a good opportunity for everyone, and hopefully people are still buzzing and they will take the opportunity.
Yeah, James, you're expecting to see a mixture of youth and, so to speak, the second string. So do you think there's going to be the mixture of Mengi and Laird in with the likes of obviously Williams, who's played a stake as a backup left back this season? Then you've got the likes of McTominay, Fred, Mata, Igalo, Lingard. Do you think it's going to be a mixture, or do you think he's going to maybe put a few of the first team lads in, like Bruno, because obviously Bruno played the first leg, Harry Maguire as well in there too? And what about David De Gea?
I think personally it's a bit of a difficult one because as much as I'd like to see the youngsters given a full run out, I think just from a selfish point of view, I want to see, well, every game I watch, I want to see a good competitive game of football. So I think from that point of view, I'd like to see a couple of first teamers in and maybe actually make a game of it and possibly go for the win. But if we put the youngsters out, I'll have no complaints.
Yeah, we spoke about this on the topic. Ras, I don't think you was on the show, but you might have seen it where we spoke about the Europa League and whether United should go all out to win it. And the general consensus was, yes, we should go all out and win it. However, this tie, you could say, I know Mark's sort of there. He's not happy saying that the tie's done right now. He'll wait until half-time if we're potentially 4-0 up, then say it's done. But in terms of being 5-0 up, the tie should be done. Ole said that he wants to win trophies. Ole says that he wants to win the Europa League. Do we take note of his team selection today in terms of how serious he's going to take the Europa League, or do you think this game is different to the others?
I think this game is different to the others because we're 5-0 ahead. I don't think you can take too much meaning out the starting 11. However, it is an opportunity for the likes of James, McTominay, Fred to state their claim in the first team. Obviously, with Fred and McTominay, they were playing well before lockdown and so on happened, and since Pogba's been back, they've not really got an opportunity. So it's their chance basically to stake their claim, and we've got games left in the Europa League where they'd want to play.
Could this also be like be a goodbye for the likes of Juan Mata to tonight potentially at Old Trafford?
Yeah, potentially the likes of Lingard, Pereira, and Martin. I think they're on their last chances. Although I think with Lingard, with his recent troubles and so on, and he was in the press conference yesterday, I think Lingard will end up staying. I think the likes of Pereira and Mata, even if they do play well, it'd be good because potential suitors will look at them playing well and possibly buy them.
Put their hands in their pocket. Fingers crossed. Get your comments in, guys. Hello to Abdullah, who says, up Man United. Yes, Common United. Let's hope we get that win today. If you've got something you want to contribute, just stick it in the comments. Now, lads, because usually on Matchday mornings, we get an opposition fan on the show to talk about the team that we're going to play against. We go behind enemy lines. Obviously, for tonight's game, it's not really impossible. I've not managed to find an English-speaking LASK or LASK fan, so to speak. So instead, I tasked you all with finding out one fact about LASK. Did you all manage to get one? Yeah? We've got some nods. I'm looking forward to these because I don't know how serious you guys have got. I want something random like Ronaldinho once visited their home stadium in like 1992. Like, I don't know what to expect here. So, Mark, you've done a preview. You know quite a bit about LASK after doing your research. So give us a rundown about them and what have they been like? Have they played since lockdown?
Yeah, I think they had 12 games. I think their form before lockdown was pretty good. Since lockdown, I think they played 12 games and they only won 3 of those and 1 or 2 draws. So their form really did a bit like Leicester. Really, it wasn't very good at all since remote.
Oh, okay. So they've struggled slightly. Obviously, I think they finished 4th from what I've seen, which obviously isn't great. Like you said, they were actually on, because I remember going into the first leg, I think they was on an unbeaten run up to that point when they played us. And then we because they were, I think it was BT at the time, were building the hype that, oh, United should take that seriously. They're not going to be easy to roll over and they're on really good form. And then all of a sudden we come out with that 5-0 win and it was just sort of like, oh yeah, LASK aren't very good. And it was like, okay, right, you can't have it both ways. James, have you got any facts about LASK and LASK?
Yeah, I did a bit of comparing the squads. So, well, for this season only, obviously. I find it interesting because they've got actually a younger average age than United squad by 0.4 years, which I found interesting because we've been quite proud of how young our squad is this season. But yeah, so they've only got a quarter of their players that are from outside of Austria, whereas United's is just over 50%. And their squad value, according to Transfermarkt, is only 30 million euros, whereas United's is upwards of 680. So a couple of interesting bits in there.
You hear it like that, and it's like, yeah. Do you know some of the facts you get before you play some of the Eastern European clubs? And it's like Derek on the right wing's a plumber. I mean, it's like one of those, isn't it? It's tough to sort of know where you're taking it. What about you, As? Have you got any facts about LASK?
I know the last 3 league games, they've lost all 3. And they had a game in preparation for this United game in Slovakia. They played a friendly. They also start 2-0. So they're not coming in great form coming into the game. Also, United have not lost their last 13 Europa League home games, winning 11 and drawing 2. So we're in good form, and they're pretty much in bad form. So it should be a comfortable tie, although I wouldn't make too many changes, as in the first leg, we did score later on. We didn't score like early on. We scored a couple of goals towards the end. So I don't think we should like take it too easy. Although if we win comfortably, then we can play more youngsters towards the end of the game.
That record must go back to the year we won it with Mourinho, surely, with that many wins at home. So really, we're unbeaten being in the competition at home, I think, because we won in the Europa League, were we, the years before we won it? I can't remember being in the Europa League. I think that's the first time we qualified into it, because we're Manchester United and we're usually in the Champions League and we're back there. Come on. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how we get on tonight and how we get on with this round robin tournament coming up as well. I mean, it's going to be an interesting game. Like I say, I feel like it's one of those, it should be tie over. But I think, Mark, you're sort of being real with it in terms of that it's not tie over until that full-time whistle tonight. And I think you're right there in terms of what you're saying. You know, they did trouble us, if I remember right, early on. Then we got that beautiful Igalo goal, which, by the way, my fact about Lask is that they've now got a trophy of Igalo because that's the best ever goal scored against them. It was a worldie. That little ball through from Fernandez and then the keepy uppies in top corner. Beautiful goal. So I'm looking forward to seeing Igalo tonight. And talking about looking forward to seeing Igalo, let's get some predicted 11s, because this is going to just be so out there that the 11 could be anything tonight. So Mark, I'll come to you first. Who you're expecting to see line up for United?
I think Romero will start in goal. I'd like to see Ethan Laird. Whether they follow through with that, I have no idea. I think possibly Lindelof. I said Brandon Williams at left back, Fred and McTominay in the middle, James on the right, Igalo up top, and Mata on the left. And maybe Mata and Lingard can switch a bit.
Okay, cool. What about you, James? What are you going with?
Yeah, similar sort of thing. I think I'd like to see Mengi at centre back alongside Maguire, just so he's got that real strong leadership partner with him. And then, yeah, going forward, I'd completely agree with it. Possibly, I think we might see Timothy Fosu-Mensah at left back just to rest Brandon Williams a bit. But yeah, I can't argue with anything that Mark said.
Yeah, good shout. Wass, are you going any different? Have you got a different 11 there? Who have you got down on paper?
I've got Romero in goal. I've got Ethan Laird at right back. I don't know whether Bailly is available since his concussion. However, I have seen him in training. I'd play Mengi alongside Bailly. I'd play Dalot at left back. I want to rest Maguire because he's played every minute of the Premier League campaign. I think he's played every minute all season, to be honest. I'd play a double pivot of McTominay and Fred. Lingard on the right, Mata at number 10, James on the left, with Igalo up top.
Yeah, good shout. You know, we're getting some comments through as well here. FO Lorenzen, I think something like that anyway, says Romero game today. And hello to Fergie's Reds, who says, what utter diatribe, which is a great way to sum up his Twitter account. I think that's a brilliant use of words. In terms of my 11 today, I'd go Romero in goal. I think I'd actually go Fosu-Mensah right back. I'm thinking Mengi, seeing as he's been added, let's give him a start. Bailly, you're right there. I'd go probably Eric Bailly as well. At the back, give Maguire a bit of a prolonged rest. And then I'll go Williams at left back, Fred, McTominay. And I think Lingard's destined to start. So we'd say Lingard. I'd like to see Greenwood play today. I would actually like to see Greenwood. I'd actually go Greenwood, James, and then Igalo up top, because it'd be good to see Greenwood hit 20 goals. I mean, Mark, what would that do for Mason Greenwood if he can bag another? I think is it 2 or is it 3 goals throughout the rest of the Europa League to reach 20 goals in his first season?
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know how many goals he needs for 20, but I know that he's the top scorer for United in the Europa League this season with 5. So I think it would be a good opportunity. I think he's probably going to have that in the back of his mind. And it would be good for him to obviously carry on his goal scoring form that he's had recently.
Yeah, I think what I mean here is 17 goals this season, 10 in the Premier League, 5, as you said, in the Europa League, and 2 in the domestic cups. So it's doable, isn't it, Mark? He can reach that if he pushes.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen just how clinical he is, really. And I think if anyone's going to do it, he'll have it. As I said, he'll have it in the back of his mind, and it'll be good to see him do that.
Definitely. So talking about goals, go on, Mark, you can give us yours first. What's your prediction tonight? You're saying that it's not tie over. What will make it tie over?
I did say in my post that I believe they'll probably win 4-0, but I just don't think we should take it lightly.
That's fair enough. James, what about you?
Yeah, I'll go 2-0.
2-0. Okay, nice and tight. What about you, Waz?
I'm going for 3-0 win, Man United.
3-0 win. There we go. 2-0, 4-0, 3-0. Yeah, I think I got that right. I'm not going to go. I'll go 5-0. we go 10-0 on aggregate. There we go, just to mix things up. But no one's saying 1-0, and that's what it's all about. If you haven't watched on YouTube, go to youtube.com/all4united. Give a like on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn your notifications on as well. Mark, James, Waz, thank you for getting up this morning and joining Matchday mornings. Really appreciate it. It is Matchday. We are 5-0 up on aggregate, but we still need to get a win tonight at Old Trafford, and hopefully we're going to see some of the young lads and some of the boys who have regularly sat on the bench over the past 6-8 weeks finally stake a claim for why they are at Manchester United. Really looking forward to it and cannot wait. Come on, United, let's get the job done tonight. Thank you, lads, and make sure you hit that subscribe button on All for United. We'll speak to you after the game.
Okay.
See you later, boys.
Cheers, boys. Thank you.
Thank you.